Lawyers, what's a fake law that most people insist is real? Story 1. It's a law that exists but widely misunderstood. Is the concept of entrapment. If the police put a bait vehicle in a high crime area, that is not entrapment. If the police are watching a bar known to overserve to see if there are impaired drivers at the end of the night, that is not entrapment. Entrapment only occurs when a gov agent suggests committing a crime that you are not otherwise going to commit. I don't even know what entrapment is. I'm going to be genuinely rubbish at this one because me and law, yeah, we aren't a good pair. I can't lie. I know absolutely nothing about anything to do with law. So, if anyone with a brain cell is watching this, then I'm going to need your help throughout the rest of the video, okay? Because I'm probably going to be asking what things mean every other story, let's be honest. So, sit back, enjoy the video, because I'm an idiot. Story 2. An arrest isn't magically invalidated if the police don't read you your rights on the spot. There could be a whole thread of just misconceptions people have from watching cop TV. Story 3. It's federal law in the US that a plainclothes or undercover police officer has to identify themselves as law enforcement if asked. No, it's not the law, and they can tell you whatever the frick they want. I mean, okay, but personally, I think I can spot an undercover cop a mile off. I think they're just far too, bait about it. Do you know what I mean? Who's with me on this? But maybe I've watched too much television, so my perception of what I think an undercover cop would look like has probably came from a film or TV. But I do just think I could spot them. I think they stick out like a sore thumb, personally. Well, not that I've ever seen one, but this is just my opinion. Story 4. Read my father who's a lawyer. Policemen cannot lie to you. This is false. They can, and they do. There's so many replies that I cannot even find some of the ones I'd like to respond to, so I want to leave a general note for those who've asked for a reference. Fraser v's Cup is the Supreme Court ruling that affirmed the legality of deceptive interrogation tactics in 1969. The ruling is still active. Story 5. In California, it's not illegal to discuss your wages with your co-workers, despite what your boss might say. I'm a lawyer in California. I assume it's the same in the other 49 states, but don't want to speculate. Wait, don't tell me that it's illegal to discuss your wages at work. Because if so, then I should probably be behind bars. And I probably should have been years ago, not gonna lie. But I didn't know that. Or is that just is that a law in America? Because I don't think that's a law here. Unless I'm talking myself into jail right now. Story 6. Driving with interior overhead car lights on is not illegal. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger. My first. So I was always told when I was younger, you know the light above your head in the car that I just put it on to either look at myself in the mirror or put some makeup on or something. I was always told that light was illegal, so I always used to put it on in my dad's car when I was younger just to be a bit naughty. But is that what you mean by interior overhead lights? I'm sure it is, but just wanted to clarify here. So that light isn't illegal. My life's been a lie. Story 7. People that think it's illegal to be videotaped in a public space. Story 8. No laws against driving barefoot. Story 9. Probate attorney here. I've had many people ask me when the reading of the will is going to take place. I explain to them that only happens in movies. But one of these days, I'm going to have one and hire a mysterious blonde wearing a veil to sit in the corner quietly. Then I'll tell everyone that she inherits everything. Provided, of course, that she must adopt the descendant's cute but troublemaking 6-year-old child no one knew about. Or she can spend the night in a haunted house. Her choice. Story 10. In the UK, that it's illegal to drink under the age of 18. You can buy alcohol with a meal at 16. Drink, wine, cider. And you're not breaking any laws if you give your child some alcohol in the privacy of your own home, and they're over the age of 5. At 16, you have to be accompanied by an adult, and it's paid for by the adult. Wait, stop. I did not know this, and I'm a full English citizen, okay? And I did not know this my entire life. I don't know if this is entirely true, to be honest with you. Yeah, I've never heard of this. You've definitely got to be 18, but then I suppose if you are under the supervision of your parents, then maybe it's allowed? Not entirely sure, but I mean, this is news to me. You learn something new every day, don't you? Story 11. In the UK, it's not illegal to park on someone else's driveway. It's classified as trespassing, a civil offence, not criminal, which means the police can't actually do anything. This particularly surprises people as many think they have exclusive rights to the parking outside their house as well. Story 12. As a former lawyer, UK, I lost count of the amount of people that thought jaywalking was a crime. Unless it's a road that specifically states no pedestrians or a motorway. No such offence exits here. To clarify, I'm talking about it not being a crime in the UK. It may well be elsewhere, Australia, USA, Germany and others. What is jaywalking? I know you lot must be like, who is this person? Like, she literally knows nothing, and you'd be right, because I don't. I have heard of jaywalking. I've just forgotten what it actually is. So, I'm relying on my listeners. Please let me know what is going on. What is jaywalking? And why is it illegal? Or not illegal, should I say. Story 13. The one that is the most frustrating to me, right? Even though it's not really a specific claim that a particular law exists, more a rule of evidence is that's just hearsay. You have no evidence. Comes up all the time, in all kinds of contexts. Even lawyers love using it when it suits them. Nothing but hearsay and speculation. Usually what people mean when they say that is, don't believe them, they're lying. Which, fair enough, but that's not what hearsay means. Lots of evidence is just a person talking. That's what a witness is. It's why testimony exists. It's not evidence just because it's a person talking. Hearsay just means that in most cases, you can't have person A say that person B said XYZ in order to prove that XYZ actually is true. Hearsay. Get it? A heard B say it. It just means your witness can only talk about things they actually know about. And extremely importantly, it also doesn't count as hearsay when person B is actually the person on the other side of the case. Person A is totally allowed to say, person B told me, yes, I will commit the crime on Tuesday. If person B is the defendant, who's been accused of committing the crime on Tuesday, you don't get to complain it's hearsay if you're the one who supposedly said the thing they heard. No, stop. So every time I'm watching like a court case on TV, right, when the judge says, hearsay, that's what they mean. No way, no way. I feel smart. I feel intelligent. I love learning new things. Hearsay, hearsay. Do, 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 do. Hearsay, say. Story 14. US ex-lawyer here. There is no law that requires the police to provide you with their name and badge number when asked. There may be internal policies, but it's not the law. There's also no law that requires the police to get a supervisor if demanded. Again, policy vs law. There is no law that allows you to question whether an order given by the police is lawful or not. A court has to decide if the order was lawful after the fact, but there are laws to punish you if you do not comply. Wow, this blew up. Thanks for the good conversation in gold. Truly honoured. Quick updates. Someone pointed out that in New York there's a law that requires cops to ID themselves and have a card, which is fantastic. Thank you for correcting the statement. A lot of folks seem to be concerned that no law meant no rules. So to clarify, a lot of things are actually managed via internal policies. Those policies usually have teeth, so no, the police are not interested in just violating them and losing their jobs, etc. Last note, thanks for the civil discourse. A lot of these threads get reduced to flames quickly, and by far the comments have been productive and thought-provoking. You guys really are awesome. I've tried to respond to questions and will continue to as long as you think it's useful. Second edit. Since this has come up a lot, I identify as an ex-lawyer because I do not practice law anymore. Attorneys are admitted to practice law under the rules of the bar in their state bar. I left the state that I was admitted to when I changed careers and did not maintain the continuing legal education, CLE requirements, to maintain my standing with the bar in the state that I left. Nor did I seek admission to the bar in my new state. I'm technically ineligible to practice until I complete CLE recs and recertify with the bar of my old state. But I have no intention of doing that, so, in short, ex-lawyer. Thanks again. Story 15. This isn't exactly what you're asking for, but I think it's valuable for people to know. You do not need to wait 24 hours to report someone as missing. See, I didn't even think that was a law. If that's a law, then isn't that just insanity? I understand that, they could return home in 24 hours, they could have been out partying or with a boyfriend, with a girlfriend, whatever, I understand that. But also, if it was a genuine missing person, a lot can happen in 24 hours, okay? They could be in a completely different country on the other side of the world in 24 hours, so I really hope that isn't a law. Story 16. Paralegal. A lot of people think that the law requires you to be a good, decent person. If I'm sitting on a bench and see a blind person about to walk into the path of a bus, it's completely legal for me, in the United States, to remain silent, take my cell phone out and take a video of his death. It's even legal for me to profit from the video. I'd be a monster for doing it, I know, but there's no law imposing a duty on me to tell this stranger, watch out for that bus. Story 17. Negligent motorcycle driver forced me to hit him from behind with my car. I was young and naive at the time, never been in an accident until then. Guy makes me sign a paper that says that the accident is my fault because I hit from behind and wanted compensation. I explained the situation to my dad, and he concluded that the guy was obstructing normal traffic and I had no option but to hit him from behind. In the particular circumstance, the guy ended up taking us to court, showed the judge the piece of paper that I signed, and I explained that I signed it under duress and thought he explained that by law whoever hits from behind is responsible for the accident. Story 18. I'm no lawyer, but I don't feel like most of the villains in Scooby-Doo committed any actual crime. I don't think it's against the law to put on a mask and scare some trespassers on your own property. Okay, love, I think you should chill and not take it so seriously. It's a cartoon. Maybe things are exaggerated in cartoons, as we all know. Don't take it so literally, okay? Moving on. Story 19. You can go 10 over the speed limit. My dad thought this was true as he was new to the country and quickly found out by a speeding ticket that it was not. I'm now realising that this may vary from state to state and country to country. For my case, South Florida generally tolerates 10 over but is still technically illegal. Story 20. Sovereign citizen stuff. I feel like enough folks have claimed to be sovereign citizens that it's become normal. But no, generally, you can't declare yourself exempt from the laws in effect where you are. Okay, guys, I'm beginning to embarrass myself now, but I don't even know what a sovereign citizen is. So should I know what a sovereign citizen is? Am I even pronouncing this right? This is the predicament I'm in. I would class myself as kind of intelligent with certain things, right? But I don't know about a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not great with, like, a load of different topics. I'm only intelligent with certain specific things, if you see what I mean. But yeah, sovereign citizen. Am I one? Are you one? God only knows, hun. Do you know what I mean? Story 21. Good Samaritan laws aren't nearly as broad as people think. For context, I work in emergency services. Some people believe that I was trying to help are the magic words that can get them out of any sticky situation. Good Sam laws vary by country and state, and the medical examples are a little more black and white than others. Adding a non-medical example of what I'm talking about. Imagine you're driving your car and notice someone on the side of the road who needs help, okay? As you swerve off the road to provide assistance to this person in need, you incidentally run over a child on the sidewalk. After the situation's over, you are definitely not free from the consequences of running over the child with your car just because you had good intentions of helping someone else. Versions of that story have occurred, and the drivers have tried to use a Good Samaritan defense because they meant well. There is absolutely some grey area on the subject, but if your unprompted action undoubtedly makes the situation worse, then if you'd done nothing, having good intentions is not a get-out-of-jail-free card, and a bunch of people don't understand that concept. Story 22. Even though many people think so, there has actually never been a Danish law allowing you to beat up a Swede with a stick, if he should walk across the ice on Orson during winter. But, even though the law has never existed, it doesn't mean it shouldn't. Story 23. Freedom of speech in my country. That's from watching too many US movies. Story 24. In my country, some people believe they can press charges against someone. You can't. You report a crime and the police decide if they're taking it further. It's not up to you whether charges are brought. You may want charges brought, but the police drop the case. Alternatively, you can refuse to press charges and the police can bring a case anyway. It's harder without the victim or witness cooperation, but they still can. You do have a right to civil cases, of course, but when people say press charges, they believe they can do this via the police. Guys, when I was younger, I really wanted to know what the police... You know, when the police arrest someone, they're like, you may not say anything or be given evidence. I really wanted to memorise that and know it off by heart as a kid. And I swear at one point I got really close, probably from watching Casualty or something like that. I can't remember, or Holby City, something. But does anyone know it? If you know it, please put it in the comments, because I want to jog my memory. And you guys know I don't like Googling. Thank you. Love you. Peace. Story 25. I'm not sure if this would technically be a law or not, but the way tax brackets work. I've repeatedly heard people in retail or construction say something to the effect of, I'm going to turn down this shift because if I take it, it will go up into the next tax bracket, and so I'll pay more in extra taxes than I'll earn from taking the shift. The tax system is specifically designed not to do this. Here's an example of how tax brackets actually work. Say there's a tax bracket at $10,000. The rate below $10,000 is 5%, and the rate above $10,000 is 10%. People seem to think that if they earn $9,999, they'll pay 5% of that, $499.95, in taxes, but that if they earn $10,001, they'll pay 10% of that, which is $1,010 in taxes. How it actually works is that you pay 5% on the first $10,000 and 10% only on the dollars above $10,000. If you earn $9,999, you pay $499.95. But if you earn $10,001, you will pay $510. You earned an additional $2 and paid an additional $0.15 in taxes, 5 cents on the 100th dollar, and 10 cents on the 1st of a dollar. Of course, there are all some sort of weird interactions between taxes and government programs, especially when someone's receiving certain government benefits. It's totally possible for each dollar you earn to be taxed back 1 for 1, or worse. In that case, there is a genuine disincentive to work more hours, but for a normal worker, think about how many hours they can work before they end up in a higher tax bracket. You will never earn less by working more, so just work as much as you like. Story 26. In the UK, people often claim that if an item is listed for sale in a shop, then the shop legally has to sell it to you at that price. This is not true at all, as the shop doesn't have to sell you anything at any price. Often as a gesture of goodwill, shops will honour horrendous prices, but they are under absolutely no obligation to do so. Story 27. Not quite on point. A lot of people don't understand that co-signing a loan means that you're on the hook for the loan as much as the other person. The car gets repoed, and then they're shocked that their wages are getting garnished. Co-signing is not you saying you think your friend is a cool dude who's good for it. You're saying you will pay for it if they don't. And they want you on the hook because they think there's a good chance the main applicant is a deadbeat. Basically, don't co-sign rubbish for anybody. Trust me, honey, I will not co-sign nothing. That is just one thing I will never do. Never trust anybody, gang. Never trust anybody. No, I'm joking. We all have to trust people in this world, okay? That's one thing we have to do. Otherwise, it would be a very unhealthy, toxic environment for any of us to be around. But yeah, things like this, I don't trust people. It's just one of those things. Do you know what I mean, guys? Story 28. I'm not driving, I'm travelling. Story 29. That commercial use of a photograph means selling the photograph. Commercial use means that there is an implied endorsement. You can take and sell photos of Eric Clapton all day long. Put that same photo in an advertisement for a certain guitar without a release, and you can be sued. Story 30. They cannot arrest a husband and wife for the same crime. Wait a darn minute. Surely they can arrest a husband and wife for the same crime, because what if the husband and wife murdered a person each? They can't just take one down and not the other. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm getting at here, gang? Like, that's a stupid law. I'm putting my foot down. That's a stupid law. Change the law because Ashley Story said so. Story 31. Freedom of speech and censorship laws do not apply on social media. If your comments or posts get deleted by an administrator, it's not infringing on your rights. Have you been arrested for your statements? Have you been prosecuted for saying something? If the answer's no, then chill out. Story 32. If you live together for X period of time, you're automatically legally married. There are different time periods for different purposes, and being common law doesn't always have the same effect as being married. So for example, your employer might give your partner spousal benefits after 1 year, but division of property laws might only apply after 3. And all of this varies from one place to another. Some places don't have division of property laws for common law spouses. Story 33. The legal limit for BAC in wasted driving. There is no such thing. The common refrain you hear, especially from media outlets that have no idea what the frick they're talking about, is that there's a legal limit to the amount of alcohol you can safely have in your system and legally drive a car. No. Simply no, it doesn't exist. There's a statutorily established per se limit in every state. This means that if you're driving and your BAC is over that limit, you are per se intoxicated and the state doesn't require any more evidence to convict you. But if you're under that limit, you can still be convicted of wasted driving or driving while intoxicated. the state will have to provide additional evidence to do so. So even though you've just had one, or have a BAC under the legal limit, you can still get arrested and convicted of wasted driving, DUI, DWI, OUI, or whatever else your state calls it. Okay, team, can we all agree on something together, as the lovely little family that we are here at Ashley Stories? Drink drivers are losers. Never do it. Even if you've just had one, just don't do it. It's a complete and utter waste of time. Okay? Like, let's join together, gang. All of our energy together might make someone not drink drive. All of us as a force. Rah. Story 34. In many countries, escaping from prison is not an offence, because the desire to be free is so inherent to humans that it needs to be respected. This is providing you don't commit another felony while escaping, like killing a guard. My first award ever. Many thanks. Story 35. Not a law, but how people believe the polygraph tells the truth. The polygraph cannot be used as evidence in court. Therefore, not science. Might as well use a Ouija board. Lol, guys, that's funny. Did I say a Ouija board? I meant Ouija board. Am I pronouncing it right? Is it Ouija board or a Ouija board? Either way, it sounds like Mario Luigi. So that was quite entertaining for me. But anyway, I don't know what polygraph is. So again, someone leave it in the comments for me, please, because I obviously need another lesson on general things in life that I should know. But anyway, we're going to leave it here for this one, guys. This one was interesting and slightly boring for me just because I don't know much about law, really. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Love you. Bye. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos coming daily.